Hello and welcome to a demo of sports mode. I've got an awful lot of new features here and I've got a full track. So if you look in the background, you can see a kind of pink morning style sunrise. Got all the traffic on the road. I can bonk these cones. I've turned the sound off because it gets annoying. And now you can see there's some kind of texture. So it's a little bumpy on the track. There's different elevations, or just hit a rival car. The yellow ones are the rivals, blue and orange are just dudes on the road. We've got more turn indicators and things like that. Let's see if I can get something a bit more interesting up ahead. So yeah, a lot more work has gone into the rendering engine. It's all a bit subtle. There we go, up and down. So there's verticality. Then we're here back in the city on a flat road, still in the morning. And now our central reservation, it's working a little better. There is a little bit of rendering of the white lines of the road on there, so I need to sort that out. But there's an awful lot of like little snags and bugs and what have you. So the verticality works, you've got a curve to approach it, and then you've got a kind of tabletop effect, and then you've got a spacing between them. So there's multiple levels. One of the major things in this is the segments of road don't have to be a screen deep anymore. So you can have multiple levels, multiple segments within a visible screen, which means I can render S-curves. They look a bit weird though. I haven't sorted them yet. I've also sorted a bug with the traffic lights. They look a lot better now. There is a bit of a problem at the horizon. I'm not sure if it's just things jumping in or not, but it does appear to have a little bit of a black bar on it occasionally. So I'm not quite sure what's going on there. The other thing I've added is these sliding backgrounds. So they're 360-degree panoramas, and they work pretty nicely, I think. It gives a feel of progression as like I'm driving through the farmland into the mountains. It's all 16:9 now as well, so this actually works on a smartphone. It works on anything, and it will letterbox. So if I were to resize the window, you would see that it's constrained to 16:9 aspect ratio no matter what you do. So there's a lot of verticality in this bit. The snow levels are new. I'm driving terribly as I'm looking in my notes in my other monitor. There's a lot of optimisations as well. Sometimes this Mac gives me 120 frames per second, sometimes it gives me 60. It's a bit it's just random, but either's good. It's rock solid on my M3. On my Intel Mac, it's rock solid about 50. On my phone, it's solid about 24. My iPad will do 60 quite happily. My phone's very modest. It's nothing fancy. My Xbox, I got up to about 50 to 60 frames per second on an Xbox One playing this through a web browser. And this is the fog effect, so it's not the same as night effect. It's a bit more like Silent Hill, but the lights are very good in fog. Well, I'm not saying good, but they work nicely. Right, I've driven into a city in daytime now, so we've got the city backdrop. All this stuff is just what I've cribbed off the internet. I will pull up some proper assets at some point. I'm speaking through a Behringer UV1, so it's dealing with a bit of my sibilance. If I remove the sibilance reducer, you can hear my sibilance comes back quite unpleasantly. I have a moderately sibilant voice. So this is a beach level. If I pull up here, you can see, oh, get off. You can see the waves are lapping back and forth. It took me until I was in my mid-40s to understand what a sine wave was. I had to get into synths first. A little bit of glitching on the texture, not textures, on the road there between segments, but there's like an off by one fence post error on some of the road stuff, but you see here it's a little bumpy, a little choppy, and it gets a bit bumpier here. The car is actually bobbing up and down in response to the bump of the road. So going through into a desert with pyramids in the background, so another sort of area of the game, and so these cars. So this is very, very bumpy terrain. And this is all zoomed in as well, so this is blown up on my big monitor, big HD monitor, so it's larger than the native ratio, but it'll scale. In a city, but yep, smooth out the bumps. Oh, car disappeared. Yeah, that's because the track loop RAM. So that's the complete track that I've got at the moment, and it kind of tells a little story. You go through the morning and stuff, but I haven't added the night areas yet. I am going to give a quick demo of the touchscreen features here. So if I hold my right thumb, that's the accelerator, and left thumb, wherever I put it, is like a steering wheel, which is analog. So that's the touchscreen functionality, which I'm pretty chuffed with. Seems to work quite nice. If you pull it back, it goes red for brakes.